Hey guys, we're the Texas Real Estate Sisters.
I'm Nathaly.
And our special guest, Draco.
Oh yeah, Draco.
Magali. This week we're going to talk about...
So I guess this video is really for anybody who's self-employed, small business owners. If you receive a 1099 every tax season, this video is for you.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we've been talking to several people that run their own businesses. I mean, we run our own business, essentially, right? And what we keep running into is the first most important thing is that we keep running into is that not enough money is being reported, right? So a lot of these businesses are cash businesses. That's totally understandable.
And not necessarily even just cash businesses, but even just us being raised by our parents, being in business, you start to see it's a hit every year when you're paying property taxes maybe and business taxes and all kinds of taxes. It feels like there's literally like a million taxes you're paying. So it is overwhelming to have to pay. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of us have kind of grown up where, you might make six figures in some cases, but you're writing off most of it because you don't want to take that tax hit at the end of the year.
Which we get, but it starts to get a little bit hairy when you want to buy a house or you want to buy a car, and they need to see that you can afford the house. And most of the times you can, but on paper, you're not, it doesn't look like you can, right?
Yeah. So I think what we run into a lot is there might be somebody who kind of has an idea of what they could afford in their head. They're comfortable with that, but then they go to the lender and they're showing their tax returns and they're telling them like, okay, you might have made six figures last year, but on paper you made $30,000. Yeah. And with $30,000, they might tell you, okay, maybe you're still approved, but you're thinking of that new build $250,000 home, and they're gonna tell you you're approved. With what you're showing us, you're approved for under 100, which that might be like a really big turn off, and you might be like, whoa, but I can afford the payment on that $250,000 home.
So if you are someone who files 1099s pretty consistently, and it's not something that you've done in the past, is report according to what you want to purchase, right? So if you want that $300,000 home, then you need to make sure that your finances reflect that. Yeah. And to do that, you need to be pretty consistent. And if you didn't do it this year, this coming year would be the year to do it, so you can be prepared for then.
And also make sure that you just don't go into it and, and be like, oh, well, last year I reported this much, I'm just going to increase it by this much and see what happens. Yeah. If you're really on track and are thinking in the next year or two, I need to get my family or myself into a home, it's a good time to go and talk to even just a lender and tell them what's going on, so they could already tell you, hey, minimum, you have to be filing this amount, which starting off, you might be like, ooh, that doesn't sound that great.
It's gonna feel like a little like a gut punch, you know what I mean? A little bit, because it's just not something you're used to doing. But once you get on track of doing that, then you're gonna know exactly how to run your business properly. So not only can you continue to grow your business and do what you have to do, but also so you can grow outside of your business. Yeah. Because if you're smart, I'm not calling you dumb otherwise. If you're smart, you can be growing and bringing other streams of income outside of what you do full time. Yeah.
And that's not for everybody. Not everybody has that plan or even wants to do something like that, but really it's just so even if you do have your one business, that when it comes time to getting a business loan or getting a personal loan or anything it might be, it's not going to be a problem, because there are options for you guys right now that maybe your tax returns don't look that great, and they could base it on your bank statements. There is loan types that are like that, but let me tell you one thing, you're gonna save way more than 3% down.
That was kind of like the second. So the first part was, the reporting on paper just doesn't look great for the amount of home you want to purchase. And the second part is, okay, if we want to go another untraditional route, then you gotta have some cash. You gotta,
it's one thing or the other.
And the thing is that a lot of people are living at that level of hey, I'm making six figures, but then they're not, because you get comfortable, especially if it's after a long period of time, you forget that you got to start putting some money away, you know, because if we do go the untraditional route, you have to have a solid percentage down to put down to prove that you're good for the money, essentially.
Yeah. And to me, it's like, what's more important to you? You know, going the untraditional route, maybe you don't want to start filing more money.
Yeah.
Okay, save up a bigger down payment.
Yeah.
But to me, it just makes more sense to just bite the bullet and start reporting, you know, according to maybe what you want to purchase or what you think would best fit your situation.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're going to be able to take advantage of zero down options. There's conventional loans for 3%, which beats FHA loans for first-time buyers at 3.5%. So,
and then like moving forward, because I know a lot of you are looking further beyond just working, like when someone contracting jobs. Okay, when you're being subcontracted, it's more than just you're doing all the subcontracting jobs and you haven't started your business yet, but that's where you're thinking like, oh, okay, in the next 5 years I want to start my business. But if you're not reporting like business loan, like Nathaly was saying, like those small business loans and everything, like you can't get that stuff.
Or even thinking about like being in construction, like if sometimes you need equipment to start your business and you're not gonna have a bunch of money just laying around to do that. So, and I feel like just what we want to get across is, you know, obviously we deal with when it comes to housing a lot, but this trickles into a lot of other aspects of your life that it stunts your growth. There's only so much you could do if you're not really organized and set up your business to be running in the way that you need to. Yeah, and always don't think of being contracted out or subcontracted out as only like people who work in construction or only work those types of jobs. No. A lot of you guys know I do my little, art side business on the side, and that's exactly how it works for me. You know, after certain amounts, you're subcontracted out, and that's just how it works. For me, it's just a side hustle, but I still report that stuff because that's income. You know what I mean? So if I ever did want to take it there, I could, because I'm reporting slowly, and as it grows, I can do that. So you guys have to just think of the bigger picture. Not just if I have the cash, I'll just buy this, I'll just buy that. But when you want to buy a house, you got to think about the bigger picture. You want to have a business, you got to think about the bigger picture. So we were just here to remind you guys this week that if you guys are in that position, there are options, and there are things that we can do and plans that we can make so that we can set you up for the coming time and then this next year for you to be preparing to do that. Yeah. So, just reach out to us, guys. We have some great resources for you guys. So even if, your goals are a little bit different than maybe what we've talked about, that's okay. We have people that are ready to help you and can just guide you so you know that you're really making the best decision for yourself. So, like always, like and subscribe our video. If you guys have any video suggestions or anything, any questions or anything, leave us a comment below or shoot us a DM on Instagram if you follow us. If you don't, go follow us. And like always, we'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.